Hey guys, Velocial here, and welcome to a pet battle guide for Argus, the achievement Anomalous Animals of Argus. I will be covering the first 6 out of 18 in this video, so I'll be uploading 2 more videos like this in a week or 2, probably. But I thought I would do this, and if you're wondering, this is not on my main realm, this is on the role-playing realm Argent Dawn, because apparently my main realm just got shut down for some reason. So this is a level 100 copy of my main, just for a backup. And that's enough about this. Let's get right into the video. For Watcher, you'll have to start with Darkmoon Zeppelin in your first slot, and your first ability should be to use Decoy. He is one-shotting the Zeppelin here, but it's a mechanical, meaning it will come back to life again. And then it uses the Decoy, and once that's done, you can switch to your Emerald Proto-Drake, and you'll just continue to spam breath here until the Watcher has destroyed the Decoy, and then you'll have to use your Proto-Strike. So as you can see, it takes a little while for him to actually destroy the Decoy. So once you are here, you are going to use Proto-Strike. I am a bit slow here, I do not know why. I was probably considering healing, which shouldn't. But you will fly up into the air, dodge an attack, and then hit him. The most important thing here, well, now you heal, right? But the most important thing here is that you lose this pet to his one-shot ability, as you see here, because if you don't, you will switch in with your Nexus Whelpling and it will die immediately. So once Emerald Proto-Drake is dead, he is recovering, so you can switch your Nexus Whelpling in and just hit him with tail sweeps until he's dead. Yeah, not that hard, you can do it. For one of many, your starting pet will again be Darkmoon Zeppelin, which it will be for a lot of these. So again, use Decoy, your Zeppelin will get one shot and it will come back, put down the Decoy, and then you're ready to switch to your Tolvir Scarab in this case. So once you switch, he is recovering, so you're just gonna hit him with the Swarm, which goes on for about 3 rounds, and increases his damage, well, doubles his damage, matter of fact. And the difficult thing about this one is that he actually has lifesteal of some sort, which is really annoying. So once the swarm is over, you can just hit him with Scratch, and you can go ahead and do that again. Yes. So now you're at 600 health, fish. So put down Survival, because he is going to use his one shot now. So use Swarm again, because you won't die, and he's recovering. So your swarm will just go on. Well, until he's done recovering, actually. And as you see, the swarm actually kills him, so you can actually get off by only using Darkmoon Zeppelin and Tolvir Scarab on this one. He is going to kill the Scarab here, which, I mean, is a fair trade, because he's dying as well. So, this one was actually quite easy. Now for Earseeker, once again, your starting pet will be your Darkmoon Zeppelin, and once again, you will start out by using your Decoy. And your pet will die, it will spawn back, put down a Decoy, and now you're ready to swap over to your Creminius, where you will be casting Howl as your first ability. This provides a significant increase to your damage, I think it's about 100% increase. So right here, you could have used one Arcane Explosion here, but I prefer to just use Surge of Power right away. I am going to recover for about 2 turns here, which might not be that great. Once again, I could have benefited from the Howl once more by using Arcane Explosion before I use Surge of Power, but you will use it afterwards anyway, like 2 times, and then your minions will die to this one-shot ability, which I still do not know the name of. Once that has happened, you can switch to Little Zaragoza, and Earseeker is now recovering, so you'll just go ahead and use Arcane Storm to put down this weather, and you can use Arcane Blast. I used it 2 times here because Little Zaragoza's Surge of Power is a bit weaker than Creminius's, because you do not have that 100% damage increase. I believe you could have finished Earseeker off here with another Arcane Blast actually, but I just prefer to make sure it got done. So once again, Pilfer, you also have to use your Darkmoon Zeppelin as your first pet. This time you have more speed, meaning your decoy will actually be put down before he uses that one-shot ability, so you will not lose your Darkmoon Zeppelin on this one. So you can just switch over to Assist of Temptation. The first ability I used here was Curse of Doom, because that allowed me to use another one. And then I used Shadow Shock, and I just used that for, well, basically until I was at a significant low health, and I felt like I would most likely die soon, so when I reached that point, I just stunned him with my Love Struck, as you see now, because obviously I was very close to dying, so stunned. And then I have, for some reason, I turn more before he actually uses his one-shot, which is what you obviously want. So I managed to squeeze in another Curse of Doom, as you might have seen there. Switched over to Macabre Marionette here, and just used Bone Barrage just to keep that dot up as much as I could. It hit for a lot in the start and then just decreased in damage out of nowhere. Don't know what the deal was with that, but then I just went over to use Bone Bite until the Bone Barrage was about to go off, then I refreshed it. This was a bit back and forth between both Barrage and Bone Bite, but eventually my Macabre Marionette actually died, which is part of my plan for this one. I just switched over to my Darkmoon Zeppelin again, and finished off Pilfer with that. But as you see, Macabre Marionette is an undead, so it will return with lesser damage than usual, but still managed to put in some more damage and just put the Bone Barrage up again before it eventually died and I had to switch to Darkmoon Zeppelin. The Zeppelin actually did a really good job here. I just put down the decoy immediately because apparently he was using his one-shot here, which was just pure luck. I was just not going to lose any important health, you know. So he's recovering. Easy part, just spamming that rocket there. And then he eventually died. Was a bit tight, but I got it. So for Bloat, again I'm using the Darkmoon Zeppelin, which is a really reoccurring thing happening in this video. As you see, I put down once again the decoy. You already know this by now, but I used it again and then switched over to Adder, which is going to be the main source of damage for this fight. So just while I have this decoy up, I just kept using Bite, just spamming that. And then as soon as he managed to remove the decoy, I used Burrow, making me immune to the next attack. But in hindsight, I should probably have saved that. It didn't really matter, but you could have played it out a bit better, perhaps actually surviving by just using the Adder. But as you see, I was about to die, so I used my Hiss, which did increase or decrease his speed, so that Egbert would go first, which actually turned out not to even matter at all, but it was a nice touch and this went down super smoothly. Very easy, you can easily do this. So for Minixis, I didn't use the Darkmoon Zeppelin for once, instead I used a Parrot, because it had liftoff and the speed on this bus is so low you will basically almost go first whatever pet you use. So this bus takes can maximum take 35% damage of its its maximum health in one hit, so it's better to just use a lot of fast attacks, which is why I used Parrot, because this Slicing Wind should have been better. It was actually quite disappointing. However, it did actually work out in the end, surprisingly. So here I realized I have fucked up a bit. I was supposed to have Falcosaur Swarm on both my hatchlings. I have only remembered to put it on my Snowfeather hatchling, so I thought I was going to mess it up this time, but actually I still managed to pull through. So as you see, I just used Falcosaur Swarm, and then, I just used it again. It's that great. Because, well, it increases the damage Minixis take by, well, double, I think. And there I was just checking for anything that should fuck me up here, but there wasn't any, so I just went for it. I mean, I still crit for about 600, which is pretty good, so I used Predatory Strike, killing it off, totally forgetting it was a mechanical pet, then realizing I had to do some more damage. I mean, it wasn't a problem, I just kept punching it, and it turned out to work, but for this to have been a lot better, I should definitely have went with double Falcosaur Swarm, just because it's that effective against this. Perhaps even fucking 3 of these hatchlings with Falcosaur Swarm. I mean, it's that great, okay? So, as you can see here, this is what it should have looked like. I should have changed this to Falcosaur Swarm. Just if you wanted to know. Great. That's it for this video. Goodbye.